Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out that more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
my apologies, y'all. I had to wake up out that goddamn good sleep that I just had. Oh, y'all, hold on for a second. Let me gather myself. Let me get my stuff together. I was watching the fight card and I just dozed off in the last 30 minutes. Hold on for a second. Let me get myself together. Shit. Let me see. First in the building, Carlos is on deck. WCS salute. Hottest chat in the MFing game. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you. One love to you, man. Tyrese, what's good? I see you in the building. More like this, interested. It was Wilder who turned down Undisputed for Vladimir. It was Wilder who turned down Undisputed for Vladimir. And AJ, 100 million to the zone off the bet on himself versus a 400-pound Fury and a cherry pick gone wrong. Well, I'll have to call cap on that. You know, that's what happened when you listen to layers of boxing channels who want to talk that. Joshua wasn't guaranteed in that fight. You're talking about that one freaking deal for $100 million that he's supposed to get Dominique Brazil and a potential fight with Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua would have gotten beaten or Anthony Joshua would have got injured or whatever, dude, it wasn't guaranteed he was getting that freaking fight. It wasn't guaranteed that he would have got Joshua on time. He would have been locked in a contract with the zone waiting to see if Anthony Joshua and him was going to fight. He turned down a good deal. That was a good decision for him because anything would have happened to Joshua, he would have been locked in a contract with the zone waiting on the shelf to see what they was gonna do. Y'all need to do a bit more research, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to do a bit more research instead of just listening to these channels and talking about he turned down the zone deal. Y'all got to stop listening to all these deals that's out here supposedly without, diving a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? Dive without oxygen tanks. You'll get it. You'll get it. Real talk. Dive without oxygen tanks, and you'll get the real info now. Because you're not gonna be willing to stay down there for a long period of time. So, goddamn, you'll get the information. Okay, I got it. There wasn't no cherry pick. How? Look, this Tyrese. I have to say this. That is a stupid comment, bro. That shit you sitting up there putting in the chat, bro. I'm just talking. That's a stupid comment to say he cherry picked Fury gone wrong. How can he cherry pick? If it was a cherry pick and he fought the man once, why did he go back for a rematch then? He should have just bounced if he didn't want to fight Fury. Where do y'all cats be getting this information from? To my cherry pick. He fought the man to a draw the first fight. He could have went on by his business and fought anybody else in the freaking division. People would have said, oh, he don't want no more Tyson Fury because he went to a draw with him. He went to a draw with him, y'all. He don't want no more Tyson Fury. He's scared now. No, he went up there and fought that man again, bro. And y'all cats be listening to the same channel over and over again, man. The same channels be kicking that same nonsense, bro. Big Blunts and Boxing, what's good? That is absolutely BS. A cherry pick. How can a man cherry pick? He went to a draw the first fight and then fought the man again in a rematch. How is that a cherry pick? How and why does Wilder has to fall in line with a Tyson Fury? And granted, Vladimir Klitschko did not fight again until he fought freaking Anthony Joshua. He was retired, bro. He was retired. So now it was up to somebody else to make that move and fight Vladimir Klitschko. It was up to Deontay Wilder to fall in line and fight Vladimir Klitschko. Being that Anthony Joshua was putting hands on Vladimir, you know what I'm saying? Vladimir was putting hands on AJ. Anyway, that's not even part of the topic. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing, man. The GOAT is in the building. What's good with it? Salute to you. Boxing fan talk on deck, man. What's good? Y'all come over here with that old stale, retreaded, recycled narratives that was being pushed. How can anybody cherry pick one of the top heavyweights, former unified champion, and he went the distance with him in the freaking first fight, and he didn't bail out? Who else were there? Don, I see you on deck. What's good? Juice Lee in the building. Salute to you, brother. I'm glad to see Bud and Shakur with their Prime sponsorship. I also see them matching Reebok tracksuits. Yes, sir. I salute them, brothers. It's good to see them. I was talking about some other fighters getting sponsorships and stuff like that. It's good to see them getting the sponsorships. In the Prime, Terence was wearing the Prime necklace when he stumped on Errol Spence's neck. Usually, are y'all giving Big Baby that snack? So let's talk about the presser, okay? The presser went down today. The heavyweight that's going down in Riyadh. And I like the press conference. It had a lot of solid names that's going to be up there that we would like to see. So, starting off this with Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller, man, he's back on deck. One of the heavier freaking heavyweights that's in the game. And he was sitting up there, you know what I'm saying, front and center, ready to reconvene his trash talking ways, as only Jarrell Miller do. Now, I told you all I spoke to Jarrell Miller in Newark. That's after he had popped dirty. And, you know, he was a man about it. He said, hey, you know what I'm saying? I fucked up. I respect that. He told me to my face. He didn't know me from anybody. He said, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I could have dropped the dime on anybody because there's a lot of other cats out here I fucked up. Real talk. So I respect the fact that he put it out there. Jarrell Miller sitting at 26 victories, 0 defeats, and 22 knockouts. He's going in there to face Daniel Dubois, who's 19 victories, 2 defeats, 18 knockouts. Both his losses have been knockouts. He was stopped by Joe Joyce. We seen that. He had the swole eye. You know what I'm saying? His eye was telling him to move his head and get out the way of that jab. He didn't do it. And then, of course, Alexander Usyk as a recent August 2023. What I liked about this exchange is that Jarrell Miller, you know, picked up where he left off with Anthony Joshua. He said he don't like Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and Deontay Wilder. He don't like nobody on that motherfucker except Otto Wallin, who was right there by his side, and Joseph Parker. But, you know, he was talking shit to Daniel Dubois, who doesn't have... Look, Daniel Dubois' freaking personality is the same as watching tree sap drop and trying to predict in a parlay when it's going to touch the ground. I swear to God, that dude has the most freaking boring... I'm talking about boringest freaking personality ever. But Jarrell Miller was pretty much dogging Daniel Dubois out. You know what I'm saying? You know, talking this shit, talking about what he's going to do to him. I like the trash talking. I like the energy. I like the fact that he kept it a buck. He said he didn't like Deontay Wilder either. He said he didn't like Anthony Joshua. And, you know, he was pretty much trying to stir the pot. You know what I'm saying? Joshua was up there. And shout out to Eddie Hearns. You know, that's going to be a hell of a card over there in Riyadh. I ain't going to lie. That's going to be a hell of a December. But Jarrell Miller, who's finally making his return back. I think this is his second fight back from his suspension. I call Jarrell Miller the experiment because that dude had a lot of chemicals in his body. And when you have that many chemicals in your body, God damn it, that's a huge experiment right there. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm looking forward to this Daniel Dubois matchup. Real talk, being that how he looked against Usyk, and then you know Jarrell Miller. I'm curious to know how he looked without the juice. Is he gonna still give us the output that he's been known for in the past, or what? That's my biggest question. That's my biggest question. Next, you know, the Otto Wallin fight. Anthony Joshua is facing Otto Wallin. I don't think it's a good matchup for Anthony Joshua because Otto Wallin gave Tyson Fury a pretty good go. You know, had a nice little cut on the right brow of Tyson Fury when they fought. And I know if he had several fights since then, but the only thing I'm saying is that is a tough fight for Anthony Joshua. All right. It wasn't too much trash talking between them two because Anthony Joshua, you know, he's just one step above Daniel Dubois when it comes to freaking personality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, real talk. Anthony Joshua is one step against Daniel Dubois when it comes for and you know, lame, ennui, freaking banal, any word you can come up with to say, damn, this is the elevator music that you if you had to put elevator music into a picture of a human being, these two would be the motherfucking spokesperson and the picture that you see once you walk through the door. Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin getting it on. That's a tough fight for Joshua. Seriously, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight. I don't know why he did it, but he goes in and take a L. That's going to give him a reason not to face Deontay Wilder, period. Now, Jarrell Miller injected his 2 cents in, to pretty much say that Anthony Joshua, was scared of Deontay Wilder and so forth. And, that's the time that Joshua was over there not saying too much of anything. And then that finally woke him up. I think he said, shut the F up, or whatever the case may be. He didn't say too much to Jarrell Miller, because you know how Jarrell Miller get down. That dude is disrespectful, when it comes to Anthony Joshua and anybody per se, besides Joseph Parker. He had kind words to say to Joseph Parker. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that fight plays out with Anthony Joshua and Aldo Wallin. What I do want to say is to Anthony Joshua is that he was in the room and his nemesis Deontay Wilder was at the other end, on the flip side. You know what I'm saying? He was on starboard side. Let's just say starboard side, port starboard. Joshua was on port side. Deontay was on starboard. And as the press conference was going on and on, Deontay Wilder spoke on, his fight and coming up, and he's fighting Joseph Parker. He didn't have no bad words to say about Joseph Parker. It was all cool. People talking about how Deontay Wilder is toned down. I mean, he was in the presence of, royalty, excellence, and so forth. So he was just doing what he's supposed to do. Now, outside of Jarrell Miller, Jarrell Miller was cussing and doing everything. They kept on have to put disclaimers up on the screen talking about, we apologize for any offensive language and so forth, right? But what I did notice about Anthony Joshua in that presser is that he was extremely disconnected, knowing that Deontay Wilder was up on the stage with him. He really didn't have too much to say about anything of a future fight. When the guy was trying to press Deontay Wilder about, does he want to, is there anybody over here that he want to fight or would like to see the fight in the future? And Deontay said, oh, you messy. And that's what that guy get paid to do. He's like Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani is a freaking antagonist. And he was trying to ask the question to get Deontay Wilder to do old stuff, retread on old information. And he really wanted, Wilder to mention AJ's name. For what? This is the same AJ who supposedly got a restraining order. So Deontay Wilder wouldn't get in the ring back in the day. This is the same person who, wants no part of Deontay Wilder, holding him accountable, pretty much saying he was ducking him. He dropped the 50 million. It's just been so many cases where Anthony Joshua has proven that he doesn't want the Deontay Wilder smoke. And it even further solidified that claim when they all got up and did the face-offs. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua standing literally right beside each other. And Joshua wouldn't say nothing to that man. Then finally he had no other way, the energy was coming from his left side. And he finally had to turn to Deontay Wilder. And he probably said something like, hey, what you been up to, man? Okay, I'll get back with you somewhere down the road on that fight. All you see is Deontay, shake his hand. And that was that. But he stood up there next to another heavyweight champion, a former heavyweight champion like himself. And it took him damn near 10 minutes to even turn to Deontay Wilder to say anything. And I know I'm going to have some people that say, well, Deontay Wilder could have said something. I mean, look, both of them was there for different opponents. But Wilder was supposed to be the one that was facing Joshua this year. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua in December. But Joshua was up here fighting Aldo Wallin. Why? Why the hell he's fighting Otto Wallin for? Why? I don't get that at all. That makes no sense to me. I'm not gonna try to make it make sense. Seriously, you know, this dude continue to pretty much place himself in positions where I don't know. He just acts like he's totally disconnected from giving the fans what they want anymore. Just like he said, Anthony Joshua said, "I do what I want to do." He said, "I do what the f I want to do." If that's the time you're on right now, okay, that's the time you're on. Okay, I have no problem with him, being on that type of time. Have no time. I mean, I have no problem with him being on that type of time. I don't. But I just look at the fight that would have set this card off big time was Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. And Anthony Joshua, as you're listening, all I got to say is it's time to face your fears, bro. Like you trying to wait till Deontay get 40 years old before you fight this guy. I mean, just fight the man. Just goddamn fight the man. You've been out here for quite some time, bro. And you know how to box. It's not like you don't know how to box. You know how to box, bro. So I'm curious to know why you're just being a repeat procrastinator over and over again, on this fight right here. Seriously. Y'all hold on for a second. Let me bring up this fight. Hold on for a second. Yeah, that's where I'm at, and I can't understand this flyer too. I don't know why Jarrell Miller and Deontay Wilder is the only ones that, it's almost like deceiving the way they have the fighters matched up on the flyer. But the opposition that they're fighting is behind them. Okay, it is what it is. But that's a pretty damn good card. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty damn good card once again by the Sheiks. Man, shout out to them. I'm not gonna hold you on that. That is a damn good card right there. It would be even better if Deontay Wilder will fight Anthony Joshua so we can finally get this shit over with. But Joseph Parker is absolutely a worthy opponent. Joseph Parker can fight. Joseph Parker can box, and a lot of people are gonna say, well, he has better boxing skills than Deontay. I get where you're coming from with that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to see what ends up being the advantage for both fighters. Would Deontay Wilder be able to land his power shots, or would Joseph Parker go in there and outbox him? We have to see. We have to see how that all plays out because Joseph Parker's coming off a dominant win his last fight. So let's see how that is, man. I like Joseph Parker. I just felt like when it was time for him to face Anthony Joshua, he just went in there and survived. And he landed some good shots on Joshua too, but he didn't follow up with it. You know what I'm saying? He did not follow up with this shit. Hold on for a second, y'all. If y'all in the building, hit the like button for me. I know it's a lot of people live right now, and I'm up here paying attention to the Navarrete Conceição fight. They're in the 5th round. No, they should be. Should be in the 6th round by now. Hold on, let me bring these up. I want to give a shout out to I ain't want to let this man, put on the performance which he did and not get full recognition from the YTC community. I know he's not looking for it, but I just wanted to give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought, he did great in his performance, his last performance. And that's Shaki Foster. Well, Shaki Foster's 21-2, 12 knockouts. And he just recently signed to Top Rank, man. I mean, he defended his title. For those of you that was tuned in, you know what I'm saying? He went in there and beat Ray Vargas for the vacant WBC super featherweight title, which is 130 pounds. And then he went in there and fought Eduardo Hernandez, which was absolutely a firefight. And I enjoyed that back and forth action. I enjoyed the entertainment value. I enjoyed both of them guys going there and giving it their all. And, I thought it was a Black Rocky moment. I thought Shaki Foster gave us a Black Rocky moment, bro. Because they was talking about Hernandez gave us a Rocky moment. Shaki gave us a Rocky moment too. Real talk. He gave us a Rocky moment too, man. Them boys was in there banging out. Not to mention, I have to say this, that Shaki Foster has some of the best defense in boxing, man. That dude has some good defense. The way he slingshot or use the ropes to gather momentum, you know what I'm saying? Knowing to get the timing down. I mean, that's days. I mean, that's hours upon hours of work in the gym to know how to work off the ropes like that and use it to your advantage. The basically allow the momentum of the ropes at the right time to help you avoid, punches that's coming in for your opposition. But I'm going to say, big shout out to Shaki Foster, man. I call you the Black Rocky because you had your Rocky moment. And with that Rocky moment, you ended up getting signed to Top Rank. So, man, salute to you. And congratulations, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to having that moment up there. Real talk. I'm just looking at some of these comments. Conceição, from what it looks like, Conceição hanging in there so far. He buckled Navarrete buckled him with that jumping freaking uppercut. Then in the 7th round. Let me get these comments. Carlos, let's get it solid. Let me get to one of the other situations going on that's going to be around for a long time. Like I said, is the fact that Terence Crawford is is feeling once again um the bubbling effect that's coming up from bored ass boxing fans. I call them the Boots Ennis cheer squad. You know, he has a cheer squad that's now trying to rebel Boots Ennis to get a shot at Crawford. It's funny because I don't remember Crawford having a cheer squad to get him to fight Spence. It was just based off, you know, what he's been able to accomplish thus far, all his accolades and achievements. Whereas a recent, you know, Crawford once again is basically out here sniping what he calls the Errol Spence um detractors. I mean the Errol Spence freaking, what's the word I'm looking for? Defectors. These are the Errol Spence defectors who's now going over to Boots Ennis and trying to get, you know, Boots Ennis on there, pushing him in the back because they didn't get what they wanted with Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to go over there and defect to Team Ennis over there in Philly and trying to build up momentum to get, you know, some type of traction going with Terence Crawford. But Crawford say, everyone I know, y'all loving Boots right now. And that's good. I'm happy for the young guy. But chill on the I'm ducking him part. Boots had 2 opportunities to fight me and chose to go different route. So chill, let the kid make his mark in the sport. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find that to be extremely at all disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's just Crawford having hope about boxing. He'll be out the sport long gone if this ever takes place, because boxing, it's going to take a lot of people to move the needle. It's going to take a lot of people, y'all. I'm just being honest. It's going to take a lot of people. I think it's going to take more people than we know on the YTC to seriously, you know, willing to put forth the effort to change anything about this sport. You know what I'm saying? Crawford put this out there. The ones that claim they help in boxing be the main ones. How y'all picking sides when y'all supposed to be neutral? This is what's wrong with the sport. There's nothing wrong with having your opinion, but when you start showing your dislike for fighters, that's not right. Well, I look at this on 2 sides, Crawford. I understand where, you know, it sounds good to say we supposed to be neutral. I don't know who that is, who's supposed to be neutral, because it sounds good, but who is neutral? There's not too many people that are neutral. They pretty much talk what they want to talk. There's not too many people out here that's neutral. You know what I'm saying? The sport is not neutral. You see cats getting screwed over all the time. Why they getting screwed over? Because the sport isn't neutral. You know what I'm saying? The sport is not neutral. It's not even close to being neutral. You know what I'm saying? That's why you said early in the tweet, one day boxing to be back on top. Why isn't boxing on top? Because you have too many individuals that's basically at the top of the hierarchy or chain of command that's making decisions, and they're not being neutral. It's not in the best interest of the fighter in the decisions that they're making. You know, he says there's nothing wrong with having your opinion, but when you start showing your dislike for fighters, that's not right. Well, it's been a given fact. I totally understand where you're coming from, bud. I get it, but it's been a proven fact that, you know, fighters show dislike for media, and some of them is 100% right. They should dislike media, because media has been known to go up here and say things that are absolutely untrue. You know what I'm saying? Just say things as untrue. So I can see on both parts of the spectrum where you can say, well, you start showing your dislike for fighters. That's not right. And I say, you know, when the fighters start disliking the media for whatever reason, whether somebody told them something or, you know, just a feeling they get about it, but that goes both ways. So many different angles. It just goes both ways with that. Seriously, I'm just being honest. It's no neutrality in this shit, man. I mean, when you talk about boxing media, it's way different than MMA media. You boxing media is the only one that has all this shit going on. As the world turns, the days of our lives and shit. The YTC hospital, where you have people just going insane, losing their freaking mind, getting emotionally blinded. That's boxing shit, bro. That's boxing shit right there. You know what I'm saying? So media is not really, per se helping boxing, because we don't know where boxing headquarters at. Where's the nesting egg for boxing? You're just speaking about the system of boxing, the sport. That's all you can do. When you're talking about the system and the sport on how boxing as you know it is ran, based off what you see, that depends on your promotion. I mean, all you're doing is putting information out there. You ain't doing anything else. You're not changing anything on how boxing is going to operate tomorrow. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. He said it's so crazy. Everyone is boxing writers now and don't know nothing about boxing. Look, we'll never know everything there is to know about boxing, especially the physicality and how to go out there and execute, stepping into the ring, splitting the ropes and stepping into the ring. I get it. But you can write on boxing from observation, just like every football coach in the NFL wasn't a star football player, and some weren't football players at all on the professional level. You know what I'm saying? The same go for a whole lot of sports. You know what I'm saying? But the cliche terminology is that you have people that write books based off information they're gathered on a topic or a subject, and they can write a book on that. You have people that can look at a topic and write on it, and that topic has nothing to do with them, but they're writers, right? So to say that everyone wants to be a writer, it's always going to be like that in boxing, because it's loose-ended. It's like the OK Corral, man. It's like freestyle. It's like whatever you want to do in boxing, you can grab hold of it. It don't matter if you grab it by the collar, the sleeve, you know what I'm saying, the cuff. It doesn't matter. It's just boxing. You don't know where, you know what I'm saying, like the main headquarters. Like you don't know where the suit is for boxing. What is the suit for boxing? You don't know it. Boxing is just is huge, is reckless, is slimy, is everywhere. It's an omnipresence. So if you basically speak in one part of boxing, and you feel like you're doing yourself justice, you're not doing yourself anything, because that's just like a small speck on what you're complaining about. Boxing is pretty much dilapidated in other areas. You know what I'm saying? But you're never gonna be able to change the entire system, because there's really no one entity to do it. You don't have a place where you can submit paperwork. You don't have any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So us having a platform on the YTC to write about certain things or to speak on certain things, it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen. Period. It's going to continue to happen. Real talk. It's nowhere around. It's going to continue to happen. Let me take a peek over here right quick. So we're in the 9th round. Conceição is still standing. And that was a nice combination that he landed on Emmanuel. Nice defense by Conceição. But one thing about Emmanuel Navarrete, man, he continues to come forward. Real talk. He continued to come forward. Let me get back to the chat. That still gives me how Bud ain't officially lead 147 yet. He gets stripped because Spencer Stalling stripped in less than 6 months. And that's where I talk about what was Bud talking about in the tweets. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be neutrality, right? It's supposed to be neutral. Was that neutral? How they strip you of the title? Was that a neutral understanding? Did they give you the neutral respect like they gave Errol Spence? No, no. But Bud said this right here. This what I don't, this is puzzling to me. About disliking fighters. He said, but when you start showing your dislike for fighters, that's not right. Now I understand where he's at with it. It's a lot of cats that's on here that's showing dislike for fighters. It's getting extremely personal. It has nothing to do with boxing anymore. It's just every day they just want to, talk bullshit about a fighter. That's not the dislike I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That dislike right there is personal. It's meant to sit up here and try to get a fighter's attention. These dudes up here pretty much out there as a cheer squad trying to get Bud to respond to them on Twitter. X or whatever. That's what they're trying to do. That's where they at with it. But when you talk about disliking fighters, I'm looking at it from a different perspective on how the IBF obviously disliked Crawford. The IBF stripped that man before he was really solid holding on that belt 120 days. They stripped that man quick. But when Bud say, but when you dislike fighters or so forth, I'm guessing like from a media standpoint, there are media segues that absolutely show disdain for fighters like him. And then I'm looking at it like, okay, I understand what that line looked like. That line of communication looked like. What about the other line of communication coming from boxing to the fighter? You know what I'm saying? You're talking about from the fighter to media or whoever's that's disliking you or showing, bias towards you. But then when you go over here to boxing shows bias to the fighter. And this is the perfect example of them, what they did with the IBF motherfucking title. It was just wrong, man. That shit was wrong. Because Seychelles looking pretty decent right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he going to win. I haven't really been looking at the whole fight, but they're in the 10th round. My focus is the business boxing route. Y'all can have the back and forth with these weirdos. Well, I look at it like this, right? Content creators are different amongst themselves. You do have individuals that Conquest. Shout out to Conquest in the building. Salute to you. One love, brother. You do have content creators that click up and they have these private chats where they come up with all this shit and they pretty much just try to recycle the same thing. Like if they were sitting in the same community bathroom, they use the same toilet paper, Conquest. That's the way I look at it, bro. They goddamn use the same toilet paper, man. The same toilet paper. I'm talking about used. That's how much of a bond they want with each other. They want to be one with each other when it comes to, how can we go out here and say what we want to say about this fighter? That in itself, to me, that's when it is personal. That's when it becomes time consuming. And people, everyday lives are affected by these cats getting on here every day and start talking about the same fighter and saying bullshit. Knowing damn well when they see him in person, they wouldn't say none of it. But then I look at it like how boxing is disliking fighters too. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is supposed to be, whatever promotion you're signed to, they supposed to look out for them, right? Along with those promotions, you have the sanctioning bodies that's attached to the fighters once they win a belt. Those sanctioning bodies, they're all in it for themselves. They're going to get their percentage off the top, and that's that. But then you look at, okay, what criteria are you basing stripping a fighter off of? Is it something that you chose to do different? Is nobody going to be held accountable? What the hell? What the hell is going on? Guess what? They doing what they want to do, shawty. Ain't nobody being held accountable for anything. They stripped the man of the belt, gave it to Ennis, and now it is what it is. And that's why Crawford just said, F the IBF, and all that. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about it no more. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Shit is what it is, man. Hey, what were your favorite? Those of you in the chat, what were your favorite and least favorite fights on the card tonight? What was your favorite and least favorite up to this point? What was your favorite and least favorite? I thought Abdullah Mason did excellent. He went in there and got his opponent up out of there. Shout out to Team Abdullah, Team Mason. Shout out to Team Mason. Shout out to Troy Eisen, the Transformer. Shout out to him, man. He had a very tough fight against Vladimir Hernandez. That was a banger right there. Real talk, banger. Shout out to Emiliano Vargas, man. He went in there and did what he's supposed to do. Got the guy up out of there. You know, pretty much showed that, hey, you ain't on my level, and I'm not gonna let you hang around too long. So he went in there and showed that guy, hey, ain't no guy coming on here in short week notice. I mean, 2 weeks notice or whatever, gonna hang out with me. And my daddy's goddamn Fernando Vargas. You ain't hanging out with me, goddamn it. He got old boy up out of there. You know what I'm saying? He got him up out of there. Castro Diaz had a tough fight. He earned 2 knockdowns in the fight and went on to win. They fought for a title. You know what I'm saying? A secondary title. He went on to win. Shout out to him. Congratulations. You know, Cash Flow was finding his range early, and then his opponent made adjustments, and it became a bit more where he had to really be careful about the distance that he was carrying, because his opponent was rangy, very long. So, you know, Castro really had to dial back being so responsive to everything his opponent was doing. So when his opponent tried to close distance through a combination, immediately, you know, Cashflow's mentality was to punch when he punched. So his opponent was trying to say, okay, if I punch and he punch and he stops, I'm gonna punch, you know, I'm gonna punch again. And he really started just like putting his punches together, like, okay, I'm gonna get him to react off me, and then on the back end, I'm gonna finish it up. He wasn't doing that initially. So, you know, it was a pretty sharp fight, man. It was a pretty sharp fight. They end up going the distance, and Castro got the win. The Brian Norman and Quinn Randall, that fight right there was the worst fight of the night so far. I just felt like everything that was said initially by Quinn Randall, he was gonna beat his ass and stuff like that, is typical fighters talk. That's the banter that they give to one another. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, Brian Norman, getting the victory. He did enough to win. But you know, both of these fighters was just holding the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? Timothy Bradley was criticizing it. The commentators was criticizing it. I mean, real talk, people. Real talk. This fight right here did not live up to the hype, bro. It didn't, man. It didn't live up to the hype. Now, between them, you know, Norman did what he had to do to go in there and get the win. But together, as dance partners who was talking the talk and like, I'm gonna knock you out. Welcome to the knockout list. You got 25 wins of pad work. Dang, Quinn, I didn't see any of that. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see too much of any of that with him, bro. I'm just saying, I was disappointed, bro. And you know, Norman's right here in my backyard, but I have to be fair. I have to tell it the way it is, and I'm keeping it light. You know what I'm saying? That fight was a snoozer to me because it was a lot of holding, smothering the punches. You know what I'm saying? I would say this, that Norman boxed more. He did box, but I didn't quite know what the instructions to my, you had to figure it out. I didn't know what that mean. I thought he was boxing early in the fight. He fought smart. He boxed, but it was a lot of holding, smothering his work. Quinn Randall was just inactive, very inactive. You know, with trying to understand, he needed a sense of urgency. Once the fight got to the 5th round out of a 10-round fight, you had to turn up, shawty. You had to turn up, and Quinn didn't turn up. Y'all hold on for a minute. That was a good fight. I definitely thought Navarrete would have stopped Conceição. And you know, the way Navarrete fight, he will continue to get fights. I'm telling you, man. Emmanuel Navarrete, one of my favorite fighters, man. Like when it gets to the outside of the top 5. I like Emmanuel Navarrete, bro. You know what I'm saying? He goes in here and puts on the show. That brand from Club Shea Shack. WCS had to go get some yak. And I don't drink no yak, bro. I don't really drink like that. Did when I was younger a little bit, but nah. Navarrete is awkwardly slick. That's the best way I can describe it. He is, man. That's the best way to describe it. To be honest, he is awkwardly slick. The way he throws that uppercut, he is very, very slick. Netflix make a bold announcement including sports. And no, it did not include PBC. So, you know, a Conquest, like let us know, man, if you hear anything in the back alleys, you know what I'm saying, in the community bathrooms, in the attic, you overhear a conversation that may put us right where we need to be, bro. We just need to get close to we can hear that beacon of information. PBC is going to announce their new network broadcasting March 20th. You know what I'm saying? People be that goddamn lean and heavy. You know what I'm saying? This is it. This is it. Shh, 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 shh. This is it. March. March. Man, get out of here. We don't know when that shit gonna happen. You know, that's gonna come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot different. They're gonna wait and try to look. You know how they're gonna do it. They're gonna try to have some grand finale, you know, to open up the new year like they always do, the start of the new year, you know, with balloons, a blimp, you know what I'm saying? Have motherfucking, you know, some special damn pilot team, you know, in the air doing some flyovers and shit, you know, with some different colors, goddamn paragliders. You know, they're gonna try to open up 2024 with something big, man. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care how big it is, but I don't know, man. That shit is what it is. I'm still waiting on LB to make us sick. That's what I'm talking about, Carlos. I'm still waiting to get sick. At least make me sick enough so I can take some Mucinex or Robitussin. You know what I'm saying? Or I can go in there and get me a hot glass of yak. You know what I'm saying? Heat that bitch up a little bit on the empty stomach. That take away all your pain. That take away all sicknesses, pain, all that shit. Now, what I do know, it won't take care of them bills though. It won't take care of them bills you got. Jones dancing, spelling out the PVC for real, man. They supposed to have all this shit going on to make us sick. What y'all gonna do? Drop confetti? You know what I'm saying? All over, and it's gonna be hard for us to breathe because the announcement is gonna be that big. That's gonna be that much of a shock. I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that at all. Shit. Now that the co-main event is over, we are gonna finally get to Shakur Stevenson. He's gonna fight for his third divisional title. Kudos to Shakur, man. He's gonna fight for his third divisional crown. And the man standing in front of him is Edwin De Los Santos. Been talking. Man, freaking boxing scene said Brian Norman wins unremarkable 10-round unanimous decision over Quentin Randall. This dude said unremarkable. He's putting prefixes up in there. Unremarkable. Wow. I just think both guys didn't do enough to really wow the crowd. And it's gonna need more than that moving forward now. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, bro. Let me see what the scores are. I have to respect Hobson Conceição more. I have to respect him more because he fought a really good fight, a tough fight against Emmanuel Navarrete tonight. He did, man. Hobson is acting like he won a gift. He's up here praying. Oh, it is a split. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. A majority draw. His name is Robson. So Conceição Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this any indication what the main event gonna be? He drops him twice, and Hobson still gets the draw. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you, brother. I'm just listening to the post-fight info. Oh boy. I didn't say he lost. I didn't say he lost. I mean, if you saying I said he lost, I didn't say he lost. I didn't even look at the whole fight to see who won. I was just waiting for the freaking. I was just waiting for the results to come in. It's crazy. Good fight, man. That's fights we need in boxing. You know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you Conceição can look a certain way with somebody else, but then coming here against somebody like a Navarrete that's awkward, long rangy. You know what I'm saying? Comes in from all different angles, and he performs well against him. But yet, with Shakur, he stayed right there in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Mm, you know, Emmanuel. Navarrete was able to drop him twice. I'm not sure how many times he was dropped, if any, with Shakur. I don't think he was dropped any. But but you have to look at it. That was at 130, and Shakur had missed weight and had to drop his belts down there. So okay, yeah, he had to drop his belt. So at a higher division, for Shakur Stevenson, will the fight be the same for him and Hobson? Who knows? But Hobson had a better performance than me fighting Emmanuel Navarrete at that weight class than he did Shakur Stevenson when he was at 130. I don't know how long this go, but man, I ain't gonna lie. This fight card, I'm still watch Shakur Stevenson, but um I gotta make some phone calls. I'm about to hit up one of these fighters that was on prelims. I'm not gonna lie. I wanna find out some information. Seriously, I wanna find out some information on some shit. Hey, but y'all hold it down. I'll be on here tomorrow. Y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.